Hey everybody, it's Nice, and I hope you maidenless pumpkinheads out there are having a nice day. Today, I want to go ahead and bring you my Madness tank build. This is a build I've been enjoying for a while now. I pretty much got it min-max, but still a work in progress. I'm really loving it. This build excels by being very tanky, having zero block cost while still being able to attack through block, while also frequently proccing the Madness status effect on our opponent. If you're not aware, the Madness status effect does a little bit of damage, if I'm correct, takes your opponent's FP and fears them in place for 2 seconds. This is a really big deal and really good for PvP as well. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, we are using the Vike's War Spear. This is one of the few, if not perhaps the only Madness weapon in the game. It's a great spear, which means it has good range, and we can use it through block, making it really good. It has the Madness status effect on it as well, as I mentioned. I have not even maxed the weapons out, and this build already feels great. Keep that in mind. However, something blasphemous. I am not using Vike's War Spear's Ash of War. I know, I know. It sounds crazy, but as great as the Ash of War is, I've actually preferred not to use it. I don't like how vulnerable it leaves you, but nonetheless, it's still a great Ash of War. I just think for this build, I prefer my other Ash of War, which we have on our shield. The shield we are using is the Fingerprint Stone Shield. Even at just plus 20, I already have zero block cost. The way we're doing this is we're using the Great Shield Talisman. I went in great detail on this in my previous video. Be sure to check that out. It will be linked at the end of the video. So yeah, zero block cost. This means your stam will not decrease as you're holding block, no matter how many attacks you take from your opponent. This is a really good thing. We negate 100% of physical damage that we take while blocking. And you see the stats right there for guarded damage negation: 77 magic, 81 fire, 79 lightning, 75 holy, and we have an 89 guard boost. This shield has the highest guard boost in the game, and at plus 25, all those stats obviously will be even higher. The shield actually hits very hard, especially if we use our weapon art, or excuse me, our Ash of War, the Shield Crash. Shield Crash is great because you can block while charging towards your opponent. This has come in handy so many times where I wanted to close the gap, block an incoming attack, and damage my opponent simultaneously. Really good. You can hold it to extend the duration of the charge and keep going forward, and it's really awesome. It takes a lot of timing and skill to master. There is actually 1 second before you charge in that you are vulnerable and not technically blocking. That's when you're holding first bringing the shield up towards your character's face. It's about, I would say, 1 second, like right here, before the shield's actually in place. That's when you can actually be vulnerable. Really big impact. Even at plus 20, I've nearly one-shotted people. So yeah, I highly recommend this Ash of War. What's really good about this is it complements the build very well. This shield has the Madness status effect built into it. So during our shield crash, we are actually putting Madness on the opponent. And if we've gotten like a couple of pokes from our Vikes into the opponent already, they'll get Madness during that. Madness is really strong because we can proc Madness with our spear, and then once they're frozen in place for 2 seconds, we can hit them with a shield charge. Oh, you healing? We out here healing? There we go. Now hit it with the shield bash. Let's go! Best build ever. Let's go. Let's go! What up? And in theory, that shield charge will have their Madness status effect reset right back to around maybe 50% already. So then they're probably already vulnerable to another status effect of Madness soon after that. So I find that really strong. The shield is not easy to work onto a build. It does require 48 strength to wield, and it weighs 29. You also have to use a talisman to negate that block damage, which I guess you don't have to do that portion, but I highly recommend it. It's saved me so many times when my back's been literally against the wall against people I invaded. So yeah, highly recommend it. I went the minimum strength I could on this build at 48. This means I put 43 into strength and got the other 5 via my talisman, Radagon Sword Seal. If you're not sure what this does, is it gives you +5 to your vigor, endurance, strength, and dexterity. This is really good for any build. It gives you a little bit more damage taken, I think 10% technically, but the attributes that you get pretty much negate the negative of this. Um, go ahead and get into the talisman since we're already here. Great Jar's Arsenal. We need as much equipment load as possible. Our shield alone is weighing 29. Erdtree's Favor. More equipment load, stem, and HP. And then, of course, the Great Shield Talisman. This is how we got 0 block costs. If you don't want to do that portion of the build, I highly recommend either going with the reduced non-physical damage one. You can also go Great Green Turtle Talisman. That way, while you're holding block and not, using any stam, you're actually recovering stam even faster. So you can hold block and poke infinitely. Also, a good staple is a good Crimson Amber Medallion to just get that HP up even higher. There's a couple different ways you can go about it, but yeah, those are my recommendations. Obviously, get your flask up. Everything else, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Now, another way that we use the proc the madness stats effect is we do have a talisman, a seal that'll shoot a madness spell. This will look like this. It's a good AoE. It's chargeable and will cover an area very well with the madness effect. This will also put a little bit madness effect on you, as you can see. So obviously make sure you're not spamming it too much and make sure your opponent's not doing anything with madness, as that could cause you to get the status effect yourself. Now, honorable mention, if you want to play around with the stats different, which I'll detail the stats a little bit more here shortly. If you wanted to play around with the stats and put a little bit more into faith on this build, you can take off this madness spell for Frenzied Burst. This is very similar. It applies the madness status effect, but it has a lot more range. It's a single target, has a lot more range and a little bit more damage, whereas this one's AoE, but it does have an FP cost of 24, which is a little bit higher, and it does require 22 faith. I was doing this for a while, but decided to go with the current spell we're using because of the minimum faith required. Now, we do need at least 18 faith, as you can see here, to wield the Vikes anyway, so I felt that this complemented the build more. So getting more into stats here, I think it'll probably be better to show it on this screen. We are doing 60 vigor. I highly recommend that. This obviously, once again, means that on our character, we went to 55 vigor and got the other 5 from the Sword Seal. Didn't put anything into mind. 52 endurance. This isn't absolutely necessary. This is just what I did to make sure I can wear the armor that I wanted to. 48 strength, that's the minimum requirement for our shield, so we went to 43. Dexterity 40. Now, feel free to put some more points into dexterity if you like, or if you would even want to take the points that we put into faith, put into more dexterity, as your Vikes will scale off that dexterity a lot better. You could even possibly take some from vigor, especially if you're going to drop the Great Shield Talisman and go with the Amber one. Really a lot of flex spots there. This is just what I found worked for me. Armor wise, fashion is in game. Fashion souls, baby. Like, fashion is in game. This isn't the tankiest things I can do. I think going with the veterans armor would actually be better. You see it weighs less, so I can get some more stuff elsewhere. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Bulgo armor, this has a lot of poise. Poise is very important. We can do this and then just go with like a lighter helmet, as this helmet weighs a lot at 12. We can even go with the bull goat helmet, which weighs less. There's a lot better ways to min-max. So I typically don't go over armor, and I won't go over armor in a build video, as unless it directly isn't necessary for the build, I'll I say just wear what you want, look cool. Um, Try to wear the tankiest thing you got though. But yeah, but as far as me, I'm wearing the pumpkin helm. This kind of has a benefit. I'm just not aware of how often headshots actually happen in the game, but this does reduce the damage of headshots. So that's pretty cool. Got Lionel's armor, fingerprint gauntlets, bull goat greaves, just for a little bit of extra poise there. And yeah, I will probably do an update once I got everything min max and plus 25, but I don't want to ramble on too long. I'll just let you guys see it in action. Enough space. And of course, he did the potion. Let's go! We can get him! We can get him! Oh, he healed. Let's go! Let's go! The combo works! Get them with the madness and hit them with the shield bash. Let's go! And then Stars of Ruin. Oh, he's gonna do that. Woo! Damn, he caught me mid-frames. He can't roll out because it's his teammate. Let's go. Moonveil can't hit that far, buddy. Oh no! Let's go!